there guys, it's Evelyn again, and welcome to another tutorial of mine. So today we are making Ahsoka, in honor of the Clone Wars starting. So this is my original Ahsoka design from like 3 years ago, and I kind of decided that I wanted to try putting her side laku, actually on the side of the face, and I spent all day yesterday making tons and tons of Ahsokas, but every time I felt like I got close, having the 5 stitches across just looked like way too big. So I still think this is the best design. I can share pictures of other ones on my Instagram if you guys want to see, and then if there's enough interest, I can definitely record just different Ahsoka head tutorials if you want. Yeah, because the way we're going to make it is we're going to make the body and the head separately. And just so you know that I did make a few little changes from this Ahsoka to the one I'm going to show you. I've shortened the legs a little bit, and then I found that when I shortened the legs, then her laku looked way too long, so we're just taking the last 3 stitches and making them doubled instead of double bands. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. So we can get started on the body, but just so you know, I'm making the dress and the boots a dark red, which is a metallic red, which turns out kind of cool. And then her arm piece is brown, but I think in the TV show they're a more similar color, like a dark reddish brown, but I don't know, it's up to you. You can do whichever colors you like. So we'll get started on the body, and I've got the body already laid out, but it's pretty, what I have done so far is straightforward, so don't panic. So, except that I put the wrong color neck. So, your neck is 2 of your dark red bands. And then place your shoulders next, and these 2 are also dark red. And then down the sides, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark red stitches. So your shoulder, and then down the sides for another 5. Down the center, your first stitch is orange, and then another 4 red stitches. And that's our body. For the legs, come to the bottom of your last red stitch and place 3 gray stitches down the sides. So after your 4 red is 3 gray. And then after your 3 gray is another 4 red. So we run out of room on the loom for this, so I can show you on the hook how I do this. Not a super extensive how to loom on the hook tutorial, but start out with a cap band on your hook with 4 loops, then take 2 bands and put them in your hook, and then pull the cap band up over the end, and then grab both ends of those double bands. Then take another 2 dark red in your hook, slide them on, reclaim the end. We'll do this twice more, so red bands in, and there we go, that's 4. So this gets placed right on the end of our gray. And then the other thing we need to add on is her arms. I've already got one arm done, so I'll show you the other arm. So put that on your, make a cap band on your hook of ×4. Then take another band, and this one's going to get wrapped around twice, and slide your cap band on. After our first orange stitch, we're going to do 3 brown stitches, so wrap it around, double it, reclaim the ends, doubled, reclaim the end. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling the band out, crossing it and folding it in half, and then using that as though it was basically one band. So we have 1 orange stitch and 3 brown. And now we'll do 4 more orange? 4 more orange. So 1 more orange, 2 more orange, 3 more. So when using doubled bands, it's usually a good idea to make sure when you reclaim the end that you slide the piece that's already made onto the center of the band, or else you can sometimes get weird curves in it, like this side. So then take the last stitch and it gets placed over the end of your shoulder. And that is not a rainbow loom band, that's a hair elastic. Okay, so now the bands for the body are placed. Now all we have to do is add our cap bands. So our top 3 cap bands are doubled, so they're also twisted around twice and placed over the pins. But of course you can't see it. Why should you be able to see it? And then it's also, we're going to do this for the top 3. And then our bottom 2 cap bands are just single, regular, or not cap bands, crossover bands. Are just single crossover bands. Except, when you place the bottom one, you'll notice that this isn't on top of anything. So pull this up over on top of the pin. Okay, so sweet, looking good. Now all we have to do is place the bands for her belt. The way I do it is I like to take the belt buckle band, which is a silver. So I'm putting this 1, 2, 3 pins up from the red band, so this is where the red bands start. The 3rd one up. So I'm wrapping her belt buckle, which is a silver or a gray, around 3 times on the pin. And I'm taking 2 of a slightly redder color, a lightly red color, and I'm just placing them on. And they're just going to hang out there. So we can actually loom the center row and get these taken care of right away. So your first one, there's nothing else on top of the pin but your 2 bands you want to loom, so just bring them up forward. And then bring the next one forward as well. So now we can pull all the belt bands up forward. So grab your 2 red single bands and pull them onto the front of the stitch. Then come around to the side and grab those 3 loops from your cap band and also bring them up to the front. Now you can go in through here and continue looming up normally all the way to the neck. Ta-da! Okay, now we can come back down to where we've placed our extra leg extensions. So go in through all these bands and grab those 2 gray ones. And then the next 2 gray ones, just like a triple single, all the way forward. So then come in front of the cap band here and continue looming all the red bands forward. And you can take this all the way to the neck as well. That one's really tight, so just be careful with that one. There's just something about the metallic bands that are extra sticky, so it sometimes makes things tricky. So now we'll repeat that on the other side. loom the gray ones forward and all the red ones forward. Yeah, I am wondering if these metallic bands were part of some other set that I was given, not an actual Rainbow Loom set, because they can be really sticky, and I've actually broken a few, which doesn't happen very often. Alright, that one's pretty tight too. But if you have like a dark reddish brown, like a burgundy, that would be perfect for all this. Careful when you come in through the arms. Cool. And then when you do the neck, make sure you get the bottom too, because there's a lot of bands on that pin. Bring it up. There we go. Okay, so there's our Ahsoka body. You can go ahead and gently take her off the loom. But whatever you do, we didn't tie off the neck, so don't let those come on. Okay, so here's her body. She's kind of got her limbs going like, wah, everywhere. But a little bit of a stretch and a straighten out should kind of help that out a little bit. And I'm going to pull the belt bands, the two red bands, out around under her feet so that they're actually her belt, not just like something random. Okay, there's her body. You can set that aside while we make the head until we need it. So for the head is going to be 2 layers. We're going to have a back layer and a front layer, and it might be a little confusing and a little bit tricky, but just take it slow, be patient, and listen, and I'll try to do my best to explain what you have to do. But yeah, we'll get started. So we'll start placing bands. So we're going to start using 1 white and 1 blue band, and I'm just going to do these ones double white bands. Which I discovered I liked better when I was doing all those other Ahsokas. Okay, so double white. And we'll start with our sides again. So after our double white, we'll do 1 blue and 1 white. And then we'll do double white. And then we'll do double blue. Then we'll do double white, and then we're going to switch to doubling bands. So what this means is we wrap it around twice again and place it on those pins. Then we'll do another doubled white. That's interesting. Okay, and then we'll do our cap band times 4 on the end of this one, which is blue. 3, 4. Okay, so we'll repeat that on the other side. So we'll take 1 white and 1 blue, and then 2 white, and 2 blue, and then 2 white, and then we're switching now to doubled bands, so bands that are wrapped around twice. So wrap it around, place it on the pins. The other way you can do this is if you place it around the pin as a cap band of 2, and then take your hook and grab both ends and pull it over, but I don't know, whichever you prefer, and then a cap band, 1, 2, 3, 4, blue. And now we'll place our center. And so our center row is 2 white, and then 2 blue, 2 white, and then we're also switching now to doubled. So we'll start with a doubled blue, and then a doubled white, and then a cap band of ×4 blue on the end. Okay, so now we need some crossover bands, so we'll do a blue crossover band here. Doesn't really matter which color, I guess, and then maybe a white one here, and then that's all. Yeah, okay, so just 2 crossover bands. So now we are going to, we'll loom up the center one first because there's a little bit of something else we need to add. So on the center, come in through your cap band, carefully grab your 2 doubled pins and loom them up till we get, we're just looming those first 2. So you'll notice that we've got the shape of a standard head still above us. So on this pin, we're going to place a single orange band. Now I'm going to take a dark red and wrap it around 3 times on top of the orange band. So what we're creating is a way to attach this to the back of the head so that it's not like bleh, like this one is. This is actually attached here. You can like omit, like not do it obviously, so if you don't want to do those 2 red bands, then just ignore it and keep looming up. Okay, so then we'll loom this orange one up, and we'll just leave it like that, and now we'll go inside that orange one and the blue one, and loom up double white, and double blue, and stop. So now we'll come back to our sides, we'll go in through the blue cap band, and we'll loom this up, and we'll loom this straight up for a little ways, but when I say stop, stop. And then when we're done looming, we'll place our base layer on top. Okay, so stop here at the white one. So you'll notice there's one entire row not loomed. So we'll use those to bind the whole layer together. So come back into our cap band, loom it forward, and then when we get to our last white one, we will stop. So don't loom the white, the 1 white, 1 blue. Okay, so now this all has to get pushed down. Well, actually, we can pull some of it off. So when you can pull your doubled ends off, and then just leave them hanging kind of off to the sides. Okay, so don't pull anything else off, I guess. And you can pull your cap band here off and leave that there, but you can't pull the red stitch off, or the red loop off. And then push everything else down. I guess we can go one more here, because we don't need that. Okay, so we can leave these, pull these off. So it should look like this. So after your red cap band, the stitch above it can be pulled off up to there, which lets the bands relax a little bit. So now we can start placing our face. And so you can see which bands aren't loomed, and we're going to start placing right below them as though it was kind of like a normal face shape. So orange in the center, 2 in the center. On the sides, we're going to do a half band here, which I'm going to do blue and orange. So thread one band through the other, Then grab both ends of the threading band, and then you'll have this band kind of hanging out. So grab both ends of that, and then you've got a double band that's split halfway, blue and orange. So place the orange into the center of the face. So we need to do that again on the other side. And we'll do blue, orange, wrap it around. There we go. If you want to, you can just do double orange bands, but it makes this stitch part orange as well. I don't know. Up to you. And then we'll place our jaw bands underneath, connecting all this. There we go. And there we go. So, the way we connect this side one to the face is we have to pull a band up over onto the front. So, when you come to the corner of her jaw, you can see you have your blue stitch underneath of your orange. So there's the 2 blue from your half band, and there's 2 blue from the top of that bottom stitch, and there's 2 blue from the bottom of that bottom stitch. So grab the center 2 that are part of the top of that stitch and bring them into the center. So we'll repeat this on the other side. We have our 2 blue that are part of the half band. This one's really clear. We've got our 2 blue that are part of the bottom stitch, and then our 2 blue that are also part of the bottom stitch. So grab the center 2 blue and bring them over the front. And now we can also place our eyes. So our eyes are 2 seed beads threaded onto a single band. I just used a piece of dental floss to thread it. If you need help, I have an intro to Rainbow Loom video that I'm pretty sure I go over that. Okay, and then we have to add her little ear thingies. I don't know what they're called. Part of her headdress. So to make them, I do 1 blue cap band times 4, and then a doubled white band. Thread the cap band onto the white band, grab both ends, and place it here. So we need to do that one more time. I already got it made, but I'm going to pull it apart just so I can show you guys. And we've got a cap band of times 4, a doubled white band, slide the blue onto the white, grab both ends of the white, and place it on here. Okie dokie. Pretty sure that's everything. Okay, so looming the face is a little bit tricky. Not gonna lie. It can be kind of awkward. There's bands coming everywhere. But first of all, we need to add the body. Okay, so make sure you've got the front of the body with the belt on the front. So you can actually grab the back 2 stitches, not yet. So find that red cap band that we placed down earlier that looks like it's on the neck. Place your hook through that cap band. Then grab the back 2 loops from the body and pull it through the cap band. Then place those 2 onto the chin. And you should have 2 loops left back on your hook from the body. Place them also onto the chin. So when you loom this out, if you want, you can get all tangled up in your bands. So pull the body back a little bit. And you're going to have to come in front of. So the cap band is kind of sitting in here really annoying like. So you're going to have to come in front of the cap band. And if you want, you can grab those 2 bands, those 4 bands that are actually part of the neck, and stretch them back a ways. And make sure you're getting the correct 2 bands that are going to make a nice teardrop. So now that you've done the first one, you can kind of come in from where that one's done and go around and grab the correct two. And then the last two here. So we can loom up the center of the face. So loom up the nose, pretty normal. Now go in all the way down to the bottom and grab those two white bands. Easy peasy up the center. Okay, the sides. Haha. Okay, because we've got this weird one coming, it's pulling at an odd angle, so it's tricky to pull back. But you have to come in and grab that half band. So go in underneath those orange 4 and grab those two that are twisted together. This side is my not as good side, so it'll be harder. So go in through those 4 orange and grab that twisted half band. This one might be a pain in the butt. It just depends. Alright, so now that you've loomed those ones, you can go in through like 4 layers and grab your one white, one blue, and loom it to that where the ear is. Go in through the ear and loom that last white stitch. Okay, so now that we're here, we can go in, grab our last one white, one blue, loom it forward to the ear, go into the ear and grab that last white. Whew, we did it! Okay, awesome. So now we can tie it off, so go in through all those stitches, pull up a band, slip knot, there we go. Okay, so now we can pull this off the loom, but there's a lot of layers, just, you know, make sure you get everything, and don't like pull it off and there's something that's still left behind. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so here she is. Tighten up your knot a little bit. Straighten out your leku. Bring them to the front. These ones actually lay at the front really nicely. Sometimes they don't. And then I also like to give the ears a bit of a pull. They're not actually her ears. I don't really know what they're called. I'm sure there's a name for it. Okay. So there we go. Sometimes these ones get a little twisted up, so you can straighten them out. Give the face a little, I don't know, this whole head thing seemed to get a little twisted up here. But that's alright. Okay, there's Ahsoka. The only other thing that I added to her was I took a brown band and wrapped it 3 times around her upper arm. Kind of spread out a little bit. Okay, and then we can hide our tie-off band, so bring it back to the back of the face, and luckily since there's so many layers, there's lots of places to hide it. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so there you have it, your Ahsoka figure. I hope you enjoy her, and she was not too difficult to make. You can tell that all of my bands have been stretched out so many times from all the different heads. But that's okay, we still like her. Alright, I hope you enjoy Ahsoka. Enjoy Season 7 of the Clone Wars, which I'm unfortunately not able to. As always, let me know any other figures that you would like to see here or on my Instagram page. Have a great rest of your day, and enjoy this little girl.